to the North's largest collection of rhododendrons, azaleas and magnolias. Yorkshire Himalayan Garden and Sculpture Park has more to offer than just its beautiful plantings. With over 100 open-air sculptures on display throughout the garden, this unique 45-acre space is constantly experimenting with the combination of art and gardening. Joel Dibb is the head gardener at the park, and he was happy to talk to me about the garden's main features, including the fascinating sculptures, the park's butterfly conservation project, and the national collection of rhododendrons.
So 1996 the house was bought, a 20-acre garden at the time. Acer Bank was the first area to get developed. That's planted out with some rare and unusual rhododendrons. Some are kind of almost extinct in the wild or grow in very rare places in the wild, so it's great to have them here. So with the rhododendrons, a lot of people only think they've got an interest when they're kind of in flower, but I quite like the new growth that comes on them. Some of them produce tomentum and endomentum. So tomentum on the top of the leaf, kind of like a dusty, and then underneath endomentum, and that kind of helps them, stops kind of beetles and bits eating them. It's a natural thing to do. Early 2000s, the lake behind us was created, so Magnolia Lake. Gets its name from the magnolia trees and magnolia sculpture in the middle. And then Leopard Valley was next in development, so early 2000s. Quite a lot of hybrid rhododendrons in there, which is quite interesting because you can see how the owner's interest in rhododendrons grew and passion grew for the gardens throughout. So Magnolia Lake, along the edge we've planted out a lot more primulas. So the candelabras are doing really well here at the minute. Himalayan plant, and yeah, they work well. Nice complement in the long grass. So we mow the edges and kind of leave the rest for nature really. The hostas do really well around the lake edges. So I think it's because of the partly acidic soil and the amount of frogs we get as well. So the frogs keep the slugs down, which is great for our hostas. The far side of the garden is about 8 years old, so very new, and you get a nice contrast of what the first stage of planting would look like compared to the more recent stages. So this is a very good viewpoint out of the garden. You can kind of get a good feel of how the shape of the valley, if you like. So the far side, planted up in late 90s, early 2000s. This kind of side only 8 years ago. So you can really see a difference as to what this side will look like in the future compared to that side. So this is the Arboretum. The Arboretum is about 20 acres in size. It was completed, planted in about 2016. So it's a very, very new Arboretum really. We've got the Himalayan Hut here, the Kafkuni. It's a very interesting, unique building in itself. Just down from there we've got an oak tree called King Alfred's Oak. So that was an acorn collected from King Alfred's Oak at Blenheim Palace, planted and grown here at the garden. So quite a unique tree here. So we've got 52 different types of oak tree in the Arboretum. So oak trees are great for wildlife and they host the most kind of life for nature. So the sculptures all have their own kind of unique spot in the landscape. They all suit the location that they're in. Nothing looks out of place. Got a massive variety of sculptures. So we've got a Himalayan hut, we've got bronze leopards, ceramic poppies. Yeah, quite a massive range really. This is one of them, the magpies. The interesting thing with this is it's made out of gardening equipment. So we've got shears for the tail, and we've got trowel for the breast. So yeah, it's quite interesting sculpture really. This is one of the latest sculptures that's come in the garden. It's called Bursting from the Slumber. So it's by Anna Whitehouse, who's a Harrogate-based sculpture, so local to the garden. So there's about 1,300 ceramic poppies kind of cascading down the hillside here. Well, each one's done by an individual person. So she came around local schools and colleges. She came to the garden, and on the back of each one, we've kind of got a personalised message on there. So it's really nice to work with the kind of local community and get art and gardening combined really to create this masterpiece through the valley. So we've got a national collection of rhododendron, the Fortunia subsection. There's a few of those still in flower. The Himalayan blue poppies as well, the Meconopsis, they're always eye-catching around this time of year, which are good to see. And primulas, again, another Himalayan plant, primula candelabras, and looking great at the minute as well. So this is one of our national collection rhododendrons. As part of that, we try and propagate them as much as we can. Our main method and most successful method is through air layering, which is kind of what this is here. When all we do is kind of scratch the underside of the bark, about 1 inch long, get our ericaceous compost, a bit of perlite, yeah, wrap it around, cable tie it tight, and we'll just leave it for a year. Check it in 12 months time. So we give them a squeeze. If they're nice and firm, they've usually either got root on there. We'll then cut them off and then put them back out in the garden or back up into the garden nursery and put them on for future. We've got a group of Mechanopsis here, so the Himalayan blue poppies. They've just about finished flowering now. There's one just holding on there. So these can be quite tricky to grow. So they need to be kept really, really damp in spring and summer. So like in the Himalayas, they get the monsoon season, so they get buckets and buckets and buckets of water. And in the winter time, they'll be kept really dry, which is really hard to do in the UK. We do get snow here at the gardens. We are quite high above sea level, and the snow actually covers them and gives them a bit of insulation. The snow will then melt in February time and water them, and it'll continue that sequence going really. The cornflowers do well in this garden. One of my favourite trees really at the minute. At this time of year they're stunning. Those and the viburnums are a really good combination together. They work really well. This is a good plant for any garden really, Dicentra formosa. So low growing, and it will kind of creep its way through. And you can see really pretty bell-shaped flowers on them. Same family as the bleeding hearts, just a different variety. It's all about working with nature as opposed to against nature. So it's nice to be able to go through an area or develop or plant out an area knowing that you're planting out things for like butterflies if you like, birds, bees, other pollinators, whatever it may be. So we've got a conservation status for butterflies. So anything that we do here, we try and involve butterflies in that. So it's nice to see an area planted out and yeah, nature kind of thriving in it really. So the area just over here that we're looking over, that's been recently, well, get added to yearly really. Any acers that we get, we kind of put out in here, so adding more autumn interest. So we're going to create a nice little Acer Bank here. We've got a new hydrangea bed that we planted out, and the hydrangeas really complement the acers quite well. And again, in the foreground, you got your lower primulas and other kind of ground cover growing through with the odd Acer and rhododendron dotted through. And then here we have the Norse Hut. It's all built with wood that was on site, and it's all kind of joined together with clever joints, so there's no nails or anything like that holding it together. It's all cleverly joined together, which is interesting. This area we get quite a lot of wind kind of coming through, so we do lose the odd tree here and there, and we do try and leave some standing for the birds. So we get woodpeckers here, we get the green woodpecker, the spotted woodpecker. We do get the odd deer walking through as well, so we do have to guard a lot of the things we plant out. So anything we do plant out, again, we try and keep butterfly or pollinator friendly, or something that will help nature really. So hornbeams are one that are good for red kites. So hornbeams are always a good one for the garden. And then Himalayan birch trees, Himalayan and drought tolerant. So we're getting drier and drier summers really, apart from this one. So yeah, nice to have a drought tolerant tree that will hopefully do well here. So when you come here, you do feel like you're kind of in the Himalayas, in the middle of nowhere. Just nice, peaceful, you know, you've had a busy day or a busy week. It's nice to just get out in nature and just relax really and enjoy the tranquility.
If you're interested in exploring the Yorkshire Himalayan Garden and Sculpture Park for yourself, make sure to follow the link in the description for more information. If you enjoyed this tour, please like this video and subscribe to Horticulture Magazine for more. Thanks for watching!